Action.
Are we recording? News. So December news sucks.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I scoured the interwebs, and there's not a lot going on. And I think that's because January is like a dumping ground for horrible movies. I honestly, there's no good trailers out. There's a few. There's no real casting announcements or movie announcements or nothing out there.
Okay.
But some end of the year stuff came up, which I thought was interesting, so we'll talk about it. Okay?
All right, sounds good.
So the first thing, I want both of you to guess, what do you think the domestic box office total was for the year? Now, it hit a record high. What do you think domestic box office overall total was?
For everything?
For everything for the year, for 2018.
1.2 billion.
1.2 billion? Okay.
I was going to guess right at $1 billion.
$11.38 billion.
Whoa.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about that. So I dug a little deeper because that had me intrigued.
Okay.
So, who do you think's the top studio?
Disney.
Disney's top.
Yeah.
And guess how much Disney, okay, if you took 100%, Disney has 26% of the market share.
Wow.
And they only released their calculations were based on about 15 films. They had the least amount of films out released and made the most amount of money.
Wow.
Sounds like they're doing something right.
I think that mouse knows what he's doing.
Well, I think that we're so inundated with movies all the time that maybe that's the best method. You spend a little bit more time and...
Yeah. Who do you think's number 2? What studio?
Fox Searchlight maybe, or Blumhouse maybe.
Ooh, what do you think?
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers got it. And so guess what? Okay,
If you see a cop, Warner Brother.
Warner Brother. So again, Disney had 26%. Guess how much Warner Brothers had? What their percentage of the market share was?
10. No.
15.
15. Yeah.
The 11% difference. That's how big the mouse is now. So it goes,
But they're everything, man.
They're everything.
Disney is Disney. A. They're also Pixar. They're also anything Marvel-y. They're going to be anything Fox next year.
So let's go through. I'll tell you here. So we had number 1 again was Disney with 26%. Warner Brothers had 15%. Universal had 14%. Sony/Columbia was number 4 with 10%, and then 20th Century Fox only had 9%. But let's think about that because the merger is about to happen in the first quarter of 2019.
Yeah.
So if you add the 26% plus the 9% from Sony, you're looking at maybe 35 to 30%, 36% of the market share next year.
Jiminy Christmas.
And how much of that Sony was shared with Disney because they were Marvel properties?
Right.
There was a few.
So you got Venom and Spider-Man.
Right. So I think we can all guess because I went even deeper. I dug a little deeper. So then I went a lot deeper. I dug even deeper. And I want to see what films from each studio made the most money. I think we can all probably guess what the top ones were for Disney.
Avengers.
Black Panther, Incredibles 2, Ant-Man. Solo was actually pretty high up on the list too. So that kind of surprised me.
Okay.
So, but again, they only had about 10 to 15 movies. The other studios had 25 to 30 movies they put out and only got 15% of the market share, which is crazy. So we look at Warner Brothers. What do you think the top one was for Warner Brothers?
The Justice League.
No. Now, I think...
Wonder Woman?
No, it wasn't out. This is crazy. I didn't see this coming, but the top one so far for Warner Brothers is A Star is Born.
Oh, wow. Well, cool.
Right?
Yeah. Now, always bet on Koopa.
Right? Aquaman's on there, but I think it'll climb because this was, again, just this week. And it did really well. But it was The Star is Born, The Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah, that was everywhere.
That was everywhere. Crimes Against Grindelwald, The Meg, then Ocean's 8. And then we've got Aquaman, but again, I think that's going to leapfrog a bunch of these eventually. So for Universal... And this one confused me. I really wasn't sure on this. What do you think Universal's might have been? Have any idea? Any guesses?
Jurassic-y? Are they Jurassic-y?
Yep. Jurassic World was their top one with 416.
Look at you. Didn't even think about that.
Pretty impressive, yeah. Next after that was Dr. Seuss. And if you look at that one, that came out 1st November.
Dr. Seuss?
Oh, excuse
me.
The Grinch.
Oh, that Grinchy Grinch, yeah.
It's still making money. 2 months out, that thing's got wheels.
And you saw it.
I did.
And you liked it.
Loved it.
Yep.
I loved it.
Did anybody see that new Jurassic World movie?
I haven't seen it yet. I've got
that
it.
Kingdom or whatever?
Yeah,
no.
I've had it and I have not watched it.
And then it kind of, those were like the top 2 and they made the most. And then it really falls off. It's got Halloween, Mamma Mia, and 50 Shades Free. So Universal, I think they had a down year. What about Sony, Columbia? What do you guys think would be their top performer?
That Spider-Man.
Venom was top. Yep. Now the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse
Boy,
is
they
on here.
marketed the crap out of that movie.
I think it'll leapfrog some of these because you've got Peter Rabbit, Equalizer, and Hotel Transylvania 3 for that. And then to wrap things up, 20th Century Fox, which will become eventually Disney. What do we think their top performer was?
I don't know. Did they have an X-Men film this year?
They did. But it wasn't X-Men. It's a tie-in. It's Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2. Okay,
that
that was the number one.
Then what surprised me, and that was number one by far. And then there's a big drop off. But number 2 is Bohemian Rhapsody. I guess that made a lot of money.
That's good.
It made a lot of money. Then it's got The Greatest Showman, which that cascaded over, obviously.
God, that was a great movie. Sorry.
And then The Maze Runner and The Predator. So I'm trying to think, when I look at this on paper, what's Disney buying? I mean, I know they can spend all these and make more money, but it's like...
Disney's buying that X-Men universe.
For $52 billion.
Yeah, well, and all the... But I mean, it's Fox, so it's also the Fox network.
That's
Television
true.
networks,
Oh, yeah.
it's Fox
Sports,
News.
Fox Sports 1. All of that stuff, yeah.
Trump News is what I call it.
So if we're looking at box office just kind of for this month, we'll do our tops and flops a little bit, but this was one that intrigued me. Mortal Engines, that movie we kind of talked about last month, they said it's going to lose over $150 million. The way it was marketed, how much money it costs, and no one's seen this movie.
They didn't market it at all, though. I have not seen a big marketing engine behind that.
So I feel like I did, but I always saw it in the theater. So
yeah, I did. I have not seen it.
Didn't one of us pick that for our top?
I thought it was going to be a sleeper hit. It's the sleeper hit that never awoke.
Yeah, Russell lost one month.
Never awoke.
No.
It's going to do big on DVD though.
Okay, all right.
Probably the VHS sales are going to be out
this world.
Through the roof.
The biggest story again out of Fox and Disney is that the merger's closer to happening. They should have an announcement first quarter of 19, and again we've kind of talked. They're going to get a lot of properties with that, so the mouse is going to get bigger. Funny news: the new Hellboy trailer's out. Have either one of you watched it?
I've seen pictures. I haven't watched the trailer.
The reason I brought this up because I've seen news segments where it's making the rounds on the internet more as an internet meme, where you've got the original Hellboy, and it's the non-generic Pop-Tarts, and then you got this new Hellboy, and it's the generic, and they've done that, spun that a lot, like kind of like the Bird Box meme. It's everywhere. What'd you think when you saw it? Would you see it?
I'm gonna see it because I just like those films.
Okay.
You know what I mean, I like the first two, and I like the comic books.
Well, I like this actor. He's the guy in
Stranger Things. Yeah, he's the sheriff.
He was in the first Equalizer.
Oh, really?
I liked
him
there.
So it's not Ron Perlman this time.
I knew it wasn't Ron Perlman, but I didn't know who it was.
And there's definitely, when you watch a trailer, there's definitely a different flair. So we've kind of come to the end of the year. There's a lot of movies that have come out. So this question to both of you guys. What are some movies that you've heard a lot about that you've really wanted to watch but you just haven't seen yet? Is there something like, oh man, I keep wanting to watch that, just haven't done that yet?
Yeah.
You got one?
Yeah. Well, Aquaman. I really want to see that.
Gotcha.
I tried to talk us into going to see that. Did you see it?
Yep.
Okay. We'll talk about it another time. I still want to see Creed 2.
Okay.
Kind of went through my list of movies for the year, and there wasn't lots that I didn't see that I wanted to see, but those are kind of the most recent.
The couple that I keep seeing, I keep hearing a lot about, that I've thought about, but never taken the time. Have you guys heard about the one called Mandy with Nicolas Cage?
I saw that.
He saw it.
You saw that. Would you recommend
He told me that I would never see that. I should never see that.
Eric should never watch that.
It's number one on some things.
It is bananas.
That's kind of what I want to see.
You might, I don't know, it's just that ultra violence, I don't know.
What about one called Heredity?
I haven't seen that one either.
I haven't seen it either.
I went back through like a list of 2018 films that came out.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of films that I didn't see and I didn't really hear about.
That you want to see?
That are showing up on people's like top 10 lists.
Yeah.
There's this
example of one?
The Rider.
Don't know
is one. I guess it was all shot in maybe South Dakota.
Okay.
And all the actors and stuff in it are pretty much locals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and but one of them that I want to see that I haven't seen yet that's technically a 2018 film is The Mule.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's on a lot of people's top 10 right now. And
there was another one called like...
my parents went and saw it.
Widows. Everybody is putting Widows on their top
like
5.
A turd, man.
But I mean, I'm listening to some legit NPR film critics here that are saying Widows is in their top 5.
Serious?
I've got one that you guys might have seen called Annihilation.
Yeah, I have that downloaded.
I've seen it.
I want to watch
It's
that.
streaming on Prime.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the free or the $1.99 or.
There's just like 3 or 4. I'm like, I keep seeing things. I want to watch it. Just gotta make the time now.
Yeah.
You know. How about this? Let's before we go into our top 10s or 5s, whatever we've got here. I've asked him this question, so he's kind of prepped. So we'll let him go first and have you think about it.
Oh gosh, I hope I remember the question.
So the question is, what was your favorite or most memorable scene of a movie in 2018? Oh, God. You remember that?
Can I use that one I just said for on Fury Thunder Road?
Sure.
The opening to Thunder Road.
Yeah. Do you want me to start to give you guys some time to think?
Yeah, go ahead.
So mine was, because I couldn't believe it happened, was I went to go see Deadpool 2, and I thought the X-Force was going to be this big part of the movie. The way they marketed it, the way they did this. The scene where they all jump out, spoiler alert, they jump out of the airplane and they all die. Because I stopped eating popcorn. I'm like, what?
They all die except for Domino.
I mean, yeah, you see in the trailer they're doing these interviews. They're all into it. You've got Brad Pitt as the Vanisher. You're not going to just not to use him. And then they just kill him like that. And that just was like, to me, that was like my most memorable scene.
They all die before they even get there.
Yeah. I'm like, this is insane. They eliminated that within like a minute. And I thought it was genius. And it blew. I couldn't believe they did it. So that was my scene.
I would say mine was the opening to A Quiet Place.
Okay.
Just the whole scene until they get to that bridge.
The little boy, yeah.
Yeah, and then that just sets that set that whole film up.
Oh yeah.
So well.
Are
and
there
it
like
was
any
just
subtitles to that?
terrifying.
Movie
Have you not seen Quiet Place?
No, not yet. It's on my list.
Holy schmoly. That's streaming on stuff, so there's just
I love Krasinski. But I'm just asking
yes,
I know it's on quiet, but are they, when they're signing and stuff, is there subtitles?
There's a few, but they don't do that a lot.
Gotcha.
There is, but there's not a ton. There's not a ton of dialogue either.
But there is some subtitles when they are subtitling, or when they are signing.
Yeah. There's not.
He was doing the actions, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't see me. I'm signing away over here.
Yeah.
It's mostly middle fingers.
Yeah. Middle fingers.
There's not a ton, but there is. So.
Okay, so I watched a movie last month that I did not recommend for you guys to watch. I thought you liked Thunder Road so much more, but it was called First Reformed.
That's on everybody's top 5.
I really enjoyed the movie, but I won't run it. The closing scene of that movie, I'm thinking, what in the hell is going on?
That's kind of what everyone said.
And it is like, oh my God! And then the way it ended, it's like, I'm not saying it's like one of my favorite all time. Don't get me wrong, but I really enjoyed the movie, and it's weird and
goofy.
It's on a lot of top 5 lists.
What's the fellow's name there?
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
Yeah,
that's Tony's brother.
Fantastic.
Is he?
Tony Hawk's brother. Yeah.
He is fantastic in that movie. So yeah, it's different though. It's about a pastor at a church.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's like you said. It's been on a lot of top 10 lists. So what we did now, since there's not a lot of news, we compiled a list of our top 5 movies of 2018. So I thought we'd go 5 to 1. Russ, we'll start with you and go around the table. How's that sound? So what was your top 5 or your 5th pick?
My number 5 pick is going to be The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Okay, and why is that?
It was a direct-to-Netflix film. It's the Coen brothers. Man, they just do it for me. They have this quirky... It is some quirky, dark humor. Mm-hmm. And I like the way that they set it up because it progressively gets darker and darker with each story. It's 6 little stories. Mm-hmm. And each one, it starts off funny, kind of dark, funny...
Do they all the stories somehow tied together too?
No.
So they're all individual?
No, they're just westerns.
Okay.
The only thing, and it is a commentary on Western expansion.
Okay.
You know, definitely, and there's a lot of subtones and stuff there that they kind of deal with and things. But I just like those guys. They're funny and dark, and it was just so well made. So well made, dude. And there are some scenes in that where I had to pause it because I was crying so hard from laughing.
Gotcha.
Just crying, laughing.
Easy, what about you? What's your number 5 pick?
I have 6, so can I start number 6?
Go for it.
Whatever.
Number 6 on mine is The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Oh,
okay,
nice. Okay.
It was
good job, buddy.
I watched that right after Russell talked about it last month. Really well done.
Definitely have to check
My favorite story was the one about the guy digging for the gold.
Yes.
Yeah, that was so good. I was like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's on Netflix now, right?
It's on Netflix.
And it's
it
like
was
20
straight to
minutes
Netflix.
a story, so Yeah, just you
Check that out.
Yeah, it was number 6 on my list. Do you want me to give you?
Yeah,
Go ahead and go with 5.
My
Yeah.
number 5 was First Reformed that I just talked
Okay,
about.
good.
Really? Okay.
Yep, that was
I'm
in
gonna put
top
that on my
5.
list of stuff to see.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and go, but before I go, I redid my list like 3 or 4 times because at first I'm like, man, this is all just stupid popcorn flicks, and then I'm like, I'm gonna try to get deeper than that, and then I realize that's not me.
That's not you.
That's, I'm
If
not
you're
very
if you're
deep.
popcorn, you're popcorn.
I'm all surface. It's
Yeah.
bad. So my number 5 pick was Ready Player One because I just loved all the Easter eggs. I loved the graphics. I felt like it was Spielberg's kind of return to form, and I showed it to my nephew, and he kind of understands some of that pop culture, but he'd be like, oh, what's that? Oh, I get that. Or, oh, there's your Ninja Turtle. You know, that
Yeah,
was fun. And
that's
I
fun,
really,
yeah.
really enjoyed that. So,
And you see what my number 7 was? Ready Player One.
there, okay.
So it was on there. It was.
Did you not understand the 5, the top
I don't
5?
follow rules,
I
really.
did not follow rules.
Not a strong counter.
So, Russell, what do you have for number 4 on your list, sir?
Number 4 is Sicario.
Okay,
Day
I
of the
haven't seen new one,
Soledad.
but
Day of the Soledad.
Okay.
That's the new. That's the. Yeah, to me it was. I went back through and I was looking through every film that hit the theaters this last year, unless it was like a really, really limited release. There was not a lot that came out this year. There really wasn't. That was one of the few, I would say, like adult films.
okay.
You
Yeah.
know, not
I give it
dirty films, but an adult. You know what I mean. It was just a complete film.
That's next month. We review our top
Yeah.
adult films.
Yeah, that's
That's a different
that's the
podcast
one that we
altogether.
record and have buried with us. But no, I just thought it was a complete film, and I was looking back through everything else that came out last year, and there's not a lot of films that I can say that
Right.
it had a good budget, had a good writer, everything. It was slick. It was a good slick film.
So I have that. I'm ready to watch. Is the action good? 'Cause I'm
The
excited to
action's
watch it.
good.
Okay.
Benicio del Toro. I mean, he's never going to disappoint
Brolin,
you.
I think.
Brolin is
he's
fantastic.
in
Yeah,
everything. He's good.
yeah, it's good. It's just good.
Okay.
It's good. It's good.
Easy about you for number 4.
Number 4, Russell is gonna. You were never really here.
Okay.
All right, that's okay. That's a film.
Still haven't seen it?
No,
They
I watched
made
it.
it.
and I just there's some things I just didn't understand. But
I loved it. I
it's
loved
dark.
it. Maybe that's that's me.
Surprised that you like that because of being so dark. Then
What makes you guys think that I don't like dark?
Because you don't like horror films.
Yeah,
but,
I don't, because I think they're
but I
cheaply
guess-
made.
I guess
Ooh,
I guess
scary.
scary things and mean things are different.
That's
yeah,
true.
Yeah, that's totally.
Wait till
Totally.
we get to our intense. Okay, so number 4 for me was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, I didn't know
No, I
you
haven't
saw
seen
that.
that one yet, man.
That one just it has a lot of heart for the story to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
and the way they computer animated or however they animate this one is fantastic. Because you've got I don't know much about Spider-Man to begin with, but you've got 6 different characters that have different animation styles put together in one, and it works. And it's very cool. And the voice acting, I wouldn't think I'd say that, but these guys were Nick Cage is in it as the noir Spider-Man. And it's just awesome. It's just great.
That's
So,
cool. That's
a
cool.
lot of fun to see that one. So I like that one. That was the number 4 pick for me.
Yeah, I wanted to go see that one soon. Yeah.
Russ, what do you got for number 3?
Number 3, coming in at number 3 was a little film called Hearts Beat Loud.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that movie. I forgot to put it
Yeah.
on my list.
Yeah, that was, to me, it stood above a lot of the other films that I watched this last year because it was just so different. They dared to make a film that was witty and satirical, but not mean in any way, and just, it's heartwarming. It's heartwarming. And, you know, I've got a new computer guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He sells you weed, huh?
And he
I
brings
didn't
me
find
weed.
one. Easy, what about you? What do you got for number 3 or 4?
Number 3, I have Black Klansman, which is the movie
Okay.
suggested for next
Wow,
month.
that made your top 5.
I really liked it. I
The
mean,
fumf.
it's got some, the political piece of it. I go, but I think it does a good job of telling 2 sides of a story
Okay.
and making fun of things appropriately. And I liked it. I didn't think I'd like the movie, and I'm not a Spike Lee fan
Right.
necessarily, but yeah, I recommend that one.
Cool. My number 3 was The New Grinch. And
The new Grinch.
it's just, I've been...
How is it not just the same Grinch story?
But it's so great now. It's just, growing up, like, our thing, you had to watch a cartoon before it was
Yes,
Christmas. But
yes.
then Jim Carrey's came out, and it's like, I felt like I had to like that because it was what it was.
It's good.
You know that's
Jim
Bridget's
Carrey's
favorite?
Well, I
Jim
love,
Carrey is
she loves it.
fantastic in
I
that.
love the adult humor, like the Key Party, and
Mm-hmm.
the baby's here, and it looks like the male. I mean, I get all that. That's funny. But this one, when I think about it, I just smile. It was so good. And, again, the voice acting was hilarious. I can't wait for that one to come out on DVD to watch. So
I'm going to have to check it out. Wow, it's
it.
really left an impression on you.
What do you have for number 2, Russ?
Number 2 is a documentary film that I saw this year called Free Solo. It's about Alex Honnold, free solo climbing El Capitan.
Yeah.
It's
on a lot of lists.
It's a documentary. It's inspiring. It's a love story. It's about a person overcoming things to achieve greatness. And yeah, it was just, man, you learn so much about him. Mm-hmm. You don't care about him climbing. Mm-hmm. You're like, great, just keep the film rolling on this guy.
Interesting.
You know, he's just completely fascinating. Yeah, and you got to think what makes a guy think that he's going to climb a 4,000 foot cliff in a day.
Why? Yeah.
You know?
What makes him, yeah.
You know, and who is he to do this? Jeez. With no ropes.
With no ropes. That's
no
insane.
nothing. Yeah, no
I'll
nothing. No
definitely check
plan.
that one out.
I mean, he had a meticulous plan, but yeah. He never had a plan on like when he was going. It was crazy.
Easy, how about you? What do you got for number 2?
Judgment free zone here. I'm not a film critic. I'm not.
Okay.
And so there's sometimes I just like what I like.
Avengers Infinity.
That's my whole list. I mean, honestly.
Game Night.
Okay.
I haven't seen that one.
I just laughed and felt good about.
Yep.
I haven't
life,
seen that one.
and
I'm putting that on my list of
It
stuff to
just
see.
made me happy.
And
And
you
so-
know, the cop just stole every scene he was in. And I've rewatched it
Well,
because
I
he's
love
so funny.
Bateman too, though.
Bateman's just always the same character,
Oh,
but he's very
he
good.
is
in that.
fantastic.
And Rachel McAdams was actually funny.
Yeah,
And she wasn't just the
I
snark.
enjoyed the whole thing.
That was a good movie.
So, yep.
My number 2 is going to be Infinity War. And
Oh.
I know, I like it because it's a big popcorn flick, but what I liked about it is I've rewatched it a few times, but I like all the dialogue it's caused. You know, there's been so much talk about it, and Marvel just knows what they're doing. You could give me 2 hours.
They do. They do.
You could give me 2 hours of Sweet Rabbit and Thor. All I need. I mean, I called him Sweet Rabbit for a good month because I love that movie.
You
so
tell
much.
HR said we can't do that
So
anymore.
HR told me I can't give nicknames at work. So I'm like, all right, well, Sweet Rabbit's dead. So that was my number 2.
Okay.
Russ, what do you have? What's your number 1?
My number 1, A Quiet Place.
Okay, good pick.
That was
Gotta
just,
watch it.
you've got to see that,
It's-
Eric. My lord.
I
can't
love
believe
John
you-
Krasinski.
I can't believe you haven't seen it yet. It is
Yeah.
so good.
Jim is not Jim.
It is so
I love him.
Good.
it's so good. It's a complete film. And they weren't trying to set it up for a sequel.
No.
And they weren't worrying about any of this other, do we have to have an origin story? We don't need all that stuff. It was a time in these people's lives.
Did
and
he
it's
direct that
stressful.
too?
Yes.
He wrote and directed.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He's fantastic.
No, if you need a moment, you can
Yeah,
go in the other
A
room.
Quiet
No,
Place.
all right. Number 8.
Okay. Easy, what do you have for
My
number 1?
number 1 was A Star Is Born.
Really?
Yep, I think that was my favorite
I need to watch
movie this
that.
year.
I definitely need to watch that.
It got me in all the right places and really made me think.
It's good. It's good. It's a powerful film.
Yep.
It's on a lot of those top 20, like you look, top movies.
Yeah,
and
it's a
stuff
powerful
on there.
film.
I would say that's it for me.
Number 1. Okay.
That'd be it.
Well, my top pick is Aquaman.
Okay.
And I was so nervous to see this because I was like, oh man, if this doesn't hit and deliver. But
I hear it does.
Jason Momoa, I don't think he's acting.
It's the
I think
only-
that's just this guy.
Yeah,
and I
he's
think he
just
just
like,
embraced it. And
I'm
he
just
is-
the coolest guy ever.
He's just Aquaman, and the supporting cast, James Wan, direction. I mean, even like William Dafoe, and who's the guy that plays Orm, the bad guy? He's a. Do you
I
know?
do not know.
I didn't know Willem Dafoe was in it.
Yeah, Volko. I knew nothing about the character before I went and watched the movie, so I
Yeah.
kind of did a little.
Yeah, I don't
background.
know a lot about the Atlantis.
It's the
And
only
stuff.
superhero movie that my wife wants to go see.
The
And I
funny-
cannot
Weird.
figure it out.
A
Weird.
side note: they had a story out there on Collider Movie that a lot of the attendance has been female. So hey, it's making
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
It knows what's up. It's
Yeah.
marketing the right way.
Yeah.
I
So,
just can't figure it out because my wife talks about how much she thinks rugged and completely the opposite of me. This guy is. I just,
well,
should I be offended?
we saw it on IMAX,
Nah.
and I kept thinking, okay, where's going to be that visual effect where you see, okay, that's totally CG and this looks horrible. And I kept looking for it, and he did a good job.
They didn't.
He
There
did a
wasn't
very
one.
good-
So it was not Blade 2.
It was not Blade 2. It wasn't Tron 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it was not Blade or Tron 2. So, yeah, it was very good. So, Russ, why don't you go ahead and run down your top 5 one more time?
Okay, so at number 5 was Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Number 4, Sicario, Day of the Soldado. Number 3, Hearts Beat Loud. Number 2, Free Solo, a little documentary snuck in there. And number 1, A Quiet Place.
Okay. Easy, how about you? Can
Number
you go down?
6, Ballad of Buster Scruggs. 5, First Reformed. 4, You Were Never Really Here. 3, Black Klansman. 2, Game Night. And 1, A Star Is Born.
Nice. So what I have is my number 5 is Ready Player One. Number 4, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Number 3 is The Grinch. Number 2 is Infinity War. And number 1 was Aquaman. Yeah, I just like those big popcorn flicks. That's
How
all I
fantastic is it that we just named off 15 of our favorite films of the last year, and only one of them, because somebody cheated,
And did 6.
had the same one.
have. Same one.
And I had number 7 too. is what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, but I mean, that's just, to me, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That shows how much we all love film, and we all love different things about
reasons,
films, and are attracted to
Everybody
different types
else's
of
opinions
films.
are stupid.
Well, that's that's I don't know. To me, that's awesome.
Right.
I think it's totally awesome.
So let's dive into our most anticipated of 2019. Let's do the same order. Russ, you want to start with your number 5 pick of what you're most anticipating to see in 2019?
Well, I don't know if I have 5, but
Okay.
It 2.
It too? Okay.
Yeah.
5th pick.
Well,
That's
that's
my
just number
commentary.
1. I can't think of. I mean,
Oh, you don't have 5?
no, I didn't put 5 together.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
sorry. I
sorry.
didn't realize
That's
we were
okay.
doing that.
I have a whole bunch. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 films that I'm.
Okay,
going to
well,
see.
we're just gonna go with 5.
I'd like to do 13, please.
You just want to name them all off real quick? You can.
Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
Is that on your list?
That's on my list.
Captain Marvel.
Not on my list.
Really?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Glass.
That's
Yes, Glass comes out next month.
I really want to see that. Have you seen all the other ones leading up to it?
Yeah, I'm caught up, yes.
Okay. Rocket Man.
Not on my list.
Know what that even is?
Nope.
It's the biopic of Elton John.
Oh, yeah.
And Elton John, we're going to see him in February.
We
I
are.
love that man.
That's right.
Aladdin. I want to see the new Aladdin movie.
Okay.
Dark Phoenix. No.
No.
Lion King.
Nope.
Joker.
Yep, I've got that one, sorry.
You Are My Friend.
What is that one about?
It's Tom Hanks playing Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got to be fantastic.
Yeah. The new Star Wars.
Nope.
Shazam.
Nope.
And Jumanji 2.
Okay.
They're making a Jumanji too.
Yeah, that first one. Did you watch that?
That was terrible.
It
With
was
The
terrible.
Rock and,
Oh, it was
and Kevin
hilarious.
Hart.
It made so much
Oh
money.
my god, it was hilarious.
Well, I'll run down. So I cheated too. I did 5, but I had an honorable mention.
Okay.
So my number 6 honorable mention pick was Glass.
Yeah, huh?
So I really like that world. I just did see the other 2. So.
Oh, yeah, I loaned them to you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Very interested in that world. So my number 5 pick was John Wick 3.
Oh, God.
I-
Of course it was.
You haven't seen them yet, but man, I don't know how they're going to top that last one.
I still haven't seen the second one. I've got it. It's your
Yes.
copy of it.
So
I need to
good.
watch it.
My number 4 pick was the Joker, and the only reason I'm interested in this is because what Todd Phillips might be able to do with this movie.
Yeah. Have you seen the poster for it?
Yeah, it looks crazy.
It's
I don't know, because it's
Just a
completely
pic-
different.
just a picture of Joaquin
It's just
looking
nuts.
like Hale.
Yeah. My number 3 pick, Russell will enjoy, is It Chapter 2. And what I loved about the first one, that scared the hell out of me. But it looks like this new cast, they're super stoked to be in this movie. And when you get them being hyped about being in the movie, I think they're going to get that magic in a bottle again.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to make you go see that with us.
Yeah, no thanks.
Number 2, my pick was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
I think, with
that looks real good.
you got
Yeah.
Brad Pitt, Leonardo,
Yeah.
Margot. I mean, and you got, the director alone. Anything he touches, Tarantino, it's incredible.
The only reason I didn't put it on my list is because I don't like Tarantino.
You don't? Interesting. My number 1 pick, I'm super excited to see, I think we all can guess, is Endgame. I want to know how it is. That's my number 1 pick for 2019.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've gone through and I have a couple more now.
Okay.
So I started off with It Chapter 2, which is really my number 1.
Right.
I mean, so I'll go in reverse out. There's a Downton Abbey film coming out
watch
this
that
next year.
series?
I loved that series.
Serious.
It was fantastic. It was maybe one of the funniest shows I've ever watched.
Huh.
But it's also dramatic and awesome. And then there was another movie by Jordan Peele that's coming out.
Yeah, I saw that.
Scary.
That I can't remember if it's called. This is.
You posted it on Facebook.
Yeah, I think it's just called Us.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, and that one looks really good. Yeah, I posted it on our Facebook site. And, of course, I do want to see Glass as well. There is another Star Wars coming out.
Yeah. I don't think I care anymore about Star
Wars.
Yeah,
I certainly don't care about Jumanji 2 nor Frozen 2.
No.
Frozen, they're like, oh, let's just make some more money.
More money.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you picked Shazam. Because I thought about it, but I'm not really...
I didn't... It was a list of everything I wanted to see for the year.
So it's just everything you want to see. Yeah, that's not any...
Okay.
Do we have one that we think will be a giant flop already? Like, looking through, like, hey, coming out this next year, this movie, why are they making this?
I think the one that could be is that Joker movie. I think that could really backfire.
I don't see how it could.
But I don't know. The biggest flop, I don't know. There's not a Solo that we know of coming out.
I'm going to say it's Men in Black International.
Yes. Oh, I watched that trailer.
I think that's going to flop big time. And the second one that's going to flop right next to it is Shazam.
I don't think it's going to do
I don't think it's going to do well at all. And then I'm wondering if
just to go back to that, I think the success of Aquaman, the fun it has, I think that might cascade over to Shazam.
Huh.
I really do. If they just embrace the quirkiness of it and have fun with it, I think it might do well. I think it'll make money. I don't think it's going to make, it's not going to be a Justice League flop, but I don't think it'll be an Aquaman hit or a Wonder Woman hit.
Did you do anything for the worst of 2018?
No, I've got some numbers, but
no. I'm saying the films.
What do you think was why did I watch this?
No, I could give you that list.
I've got one right now. We can just say our top one.
Let's do that.
I've got 3. So
okay, I'm gonna say The Nutcracker. That movie was absolutely horrid.
And big money to go see that.
I know. I think it was opening weekend or something. But man, that was awful.
Are Leave No Trace, I talked about earlier. I watched this film called Searching that everybody was talking about. Did you guys see the previews for that at all?
I don't know.
He's on the computer, yeah.
Yeah, he's using basically all Apple devices to try to find his daughter, and it is stupid. And I hated it. Okay. And then I also watched this movie because everybody's talking about 8th grade. And I was telling the guys earlier, it reminds me of being in 8th grade. And those were shitty days, so...
8th grade is a terrible time because you're awkward.
And that's what the movie is.
Are you a kid? Are you an adult?
Nothing.
And you're trying to be liked, but you're trying too hard to be liked. And it's kind of like Oath Eats today.
Pretty much. So I got 2 that I saw in the theaters. I wish I had my time back. Luckily, I didn't spend money on one of them.
Okay.
One of them was a free ticket, and that was Rampage.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad I didn't spend money on that one. But, that was
Apologia.
And the second one was the newest Harry Potter, The Crimes Against Grindelwald. I think to really enjoy that one, you have to be a huge Harry Potter nerd. I really think.
I'm not hearing of anybody who really enjoyed it. Even huge Harry Potter nerds. Really, and I know a couple.
See, Taylor really liked it, but she's like, because this ties into that and that ties into that. I'm like, I don't get it.
Boba da boom, scoobity scoop.
Yeah, just didn't care for it. So those are my 2 worst that I saw in theaters. So.
All right, so that's the news.
That is the news for the year. That's the news for the year. That's 2018 in and out. Right.
What a year!
It's been a great year. Yeah.
We
made a lot of money.
What new resolution you have regarding movies in 2018 or 19?
Spend less time with people named Eric. I'm really going to focus in on that. I actually sat down with the counselor at Mosaic, and we talked about that in depth. And there are people named Eric you just need to avoid.
I can't handle this rejection.
So that's going to be number 1.
Well, my goal...
That's more of an inner me thing I'm going to work on is to spend less time with Eric.
I'll be in. Never mind, I'm going to say that. I got this poster that the guys were looking at earlier. That's the 100 bucket list movies. And my goal is in 2019 to get through those movies. Make sure I see everything I can on there. Hopefully get them all done. So
I have a real resolution. It's to get better at our website and make it a little bit more user friendly for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yep.
That's one of mine.
Yep.
Anything for you, Russ?
I'm going to try to see more films this year.
Yeah.
I looked back and I was like, man, I did not go to the theater that often.
I thought you were down there all the time.
And when I did go to the theater, I was seeing Avengers. And I was seeing stuff like that. And I'm like, man, I'm missing all these good secondary films. And I know I'm going to have a chance to see the Avengers later.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, some of those you just have to see them because you don't want everybody to spoil the damn
That's,
story.
That's the problem.
You know,
That's
so
why they
Avengers,
got-
Captain Marvel, yeah, I'll go see them. But
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get to the Tivoli and Alamo Draft House and start seeing more of their Alamo Recommends series and their film
I
club
need to figure out how to
series.
get on that mailing list.
For the Alamo?
Yeah, I cannot find it. After you told me, I looked and looked.
Oh.
and looked.
I was really
I'll-
hoping that
I'll sign
your
you up for it.
resolution was to bring back the trailer in St. Joe. Or the trail.
Trail Theater.
Yeah, someday. We'll bring
I
the
was
trail
hoping
back
you
someday.
would get on
Trail
that
theater.
and that happen.
Yeah.
I got like
Russell's
$75
Trail
bucks. I could.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
I'll give you 75.
What a beautiful building, but man, what a
Turd.
expensive project that would be, I would imagine.
Can we do it just so we can watch our own movies there?
That'd be nice.
Okay. I can do my stop animation ones we can put up on the
Absolutely.
great.
We'll show that before every film.
Yeah.
Before every film. Just like Draft House, we'll have our own.
It'll be a
Our own
dinosaur
opening
getting popcorn
things.
and shit
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go to the theater.
Shh.
Well, thanks for listening to us in 2018. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're Dunestone Redemption. Look for us on Twitter and the Facebook. And check out our website, www.dunestoneredemption.com.